Thanks, Coach. A bit of a sloppy track here at Soldier Field. Still getting some of the wraparound rain bands of a low-pressure system that's hovered over Chicago the last couple of days. This was the scene a moment ago as the Bears emerged from their tunnel. Ready for football are they, and ready. Taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
Right over there. Yeah. Mike, 58, right there. It's our time.
First carry in the league here for David Montgomery, the man out of Iowa State. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Following the penalty, Montgomery. And this will be taken across midfield and into Green Bay territory. The game's first play produces 6 yards, brings up 2nd down.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. On 2nd down, Montgomery. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Down behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of a yard. It's 4th down.
And on their first drive, the offense staying out there. They're going to go for it on 4th.
Tighten up. Green, switch.
Winston to throw for it on 4th. Finding Gabriel complete. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. A gain there of 12 yards and a 1st down for the Bears. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll run with a 3rd-year man. This is Tariq Cohen. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13. Working out of the gun. Winston. Open man, Taylor Gabriel. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
Let's set a tone, fellas. Let's set a tone.
Winston from the gun on 3rd down. And this is Gabriel on the catch. And they just keep marching right along. 1st down on a pickup of 8 there.
Well, he's looking sharp right from the get-go here. Tough division. They needed this kind of a start. But I think this is part of where scripting comes in. We always hear about the scripting of plays, how they're going to be called. Everyone dress rehearses their script, and right now they're following it to a T.
And for that opening drive, so part of the script still to come, right, partner?
Yeah, no doubt about it. We've got a ways to go with that, but you can tell that they worked on the script the entire week in practice, and it's paying off for them.
A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive. Now it's a bootleg with Winston. Out to his left. And nearly an interception here on their opening drive. But instead, 3rd down. Pretty lucky to get the football back. Had his target out there waving the arms, saying, I'm open, but maybe didn't see him quick enough.
And I know the jokes are always about defensive backs' hands. What really actually happens, you don't get many opportunities. You get over anxious, and you start to think about taking it away and going the other way instead of focusing and catching the ball.
On 3rd down, Winston. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jair Alexander. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. They'll go with their leading rusher from a season ago. This is Aaron Jones. And he'll be hit and dropped for a loss at the 5-yard line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a 1st down. Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that would look pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage.
59 Alpha. Check, 59. You ain't doing nothing today. You ain't doing nothing.
To throw is Rodgers. Going up top. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Back to the air on 2nd down. It's Rodgers. Looking deep for Adams. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down.
But when you're going up against a talented receiver like that, you just know that they're going to bring more people to him, right? They're going to double cover him every chance they get.
I think that is what we're going to see all game long. An early taste of that double, maybe even sometimes triple coverage we might see.
Yeah, I think what they're counting on, his talent to sometimes beat that double coverage.
Williams. And he won't be close to a 1st down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively. And it likely forces a punt situation on 4th. This is taken at about the 14. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the Bears take over. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And they were intercepted the first time they had the football, but now they get it back, and it's still 0-0.
And because of that, you know what the thought process is? Interception. What interception? It didn't really happen because they gave up.
Trying to get it to Robinson, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Darnell Savage, the rookie from Maryland. And he will take this across midfield and down to the 48-yard line. Oh, and I saw the pressure coming at him. That just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about How much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw? And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
To throw, it's Rodgers. He's going to take a shot right away for the end zone. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down.
Bravo.
58 to Mike, 58 to Mike. Hey, pick it up, defense. Let's go.
Rodgers now. Going to throw again. He's going to go for a big play. It's caught at the 10. Touchdown, Packers. Isaiah McKenzie, 48 yards, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good, and it's now a 7-0 game. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively, obviously. 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit, like, hey, didn't we practice in that colored jersey all week, not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. On 2nd down now, it's Cohen, and he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. After 7-0 on EA Sports. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. From the shotgun, it's Winston. Gets this to his running back, Tariq Cohen. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And it'll be 2nd and 12. Jameis to throw it. And, Jameis intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by the former Bear, Adrian Amos. And they will score. It's a Packer touchdown.
Now, that was a beautiful play. A pick 6. How would you punctuate something like that, partner?
You mean with an exclamation mark?
Exclamation mark, a big word. What would you do with that?
Ampersand?
I like it.
Crosby connects on the extra point, and it's now 14-0. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This is fielded at the goal line. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. First down, Winston. And a little floater there is incomplete. Now this, of course, the 100th season of NFL football, and 17 matchups with historical significance have been picked throughout the season. And this is the first of them. Bears and Packers, the NFL's oldest rivalry dating way back to 1921, with the Packers having the all-time edge 96, 94, and 6 ties.
It is hard in zone coverage to stop a curl route because when they see it, They just try and find the open spot and sit down.
Yeah, we always talk about finding the soft spot in the zone. What's the key to doing that? How do you do it?
You have to read what the coverage is. Is it 2 deep? Is it 3 deep? Because then you know where the linebackers are going to drop, what spots on the field they naturally get to, and you find that open space, and then you're in sync with your quarterback. He should be reading the exact same thing, and they put the ball right on you.
This is away and a very good kick, angled for the sidelines. This one will sail out of bounds. It'll depend on the spot here. And the side judge says that went out at the 7-yard line. The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game. But this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football. Because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. They'll try the right side with Jones. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And brought down, but not before reaching the 25. Give him 15 there, and the Packers have a first.
Coming in, he really liked his chance of having a big year based on a terrific offseason. And runs like that on opening weekend show that he's right.
After the run by Jones, here's 1st and 10.
He's checking crack. 26.
Now Rodgers. Now look out. Rodgers lost the football. And this is picked up by the Bears. And they'll have a short field to work with inside the 15 at the 13-yard line. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
They go play action here on 1st down. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Preston Smith comes in for the sack.
Well, that was point counterpoint, wasn't it? They decided to throw for it on 1st and goal. Instead, the defense counters with pressure, and the defense wins, getting a big sack.
It's 2nd and goal, but now all the way back at the 14. To throw, Winston. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by Jair Alexander. He's at the 50, the 30, the 20, 10, and they will score. It's a Packer touchdown.
What you just saw there, 1st-round talent, 2nd year, even more success. A pick 6 for a touchdown.
A great play. And it's tough for these guys, you've told me before, to adjust in the secondary as a first-year guy. So that sophomore season is big for them.
They really start to expand the playbook for them even more. Sometimes they dumb it down a little bit to make them comfortable year 1. By year 2, they should have all the nuances, and now they've adjusted to the speed of NFL play as well.
Showed right there. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And this, you'd hate to say that a drive in the first half must end in points, but you're down 21-0. They're going to have to get something going fairly quickly.
I would agree totally with that, because if you're going to mount the comeback, it's going to have to come in bits and pieces. It doesn't just all come at one time, right? We haven't seen anything more than a 6-point touchdown ever in this game, right? So that's how it has to be done. Get points on the board now. Start your comeback, but you're exactly right. Let's get it going right here in this spot.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. From the gun, Winston. And he finds his tight end, Graham. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Looking to throw again on second down. Winston, he completes this into the hands of Miller. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers 14. Now a play fake here on first down. That's complete to Robinson. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. So they saw the contact before the ball arrived. Penalty flag for pass interference.
And trying to avoid pass interference is so difficult. You're trying to slow down these skilled receivers, and somehow, some way, they make plays on the football, and sometimes you're there too soon.
And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. It'll be a 3-yard pickup, and it brings up second and goal. On second and goal, Winston hammering for the goal line. He loses the football. And they will elect to decline the penalty.
Everything turned out the way they wanted it to. No sense in even having to take that one, hence the decline.
The holding penalty, that puts them in an unenviable spot here as they try again on third and goal.
25, check 25. Hey, stop. Easy. Shit. 5-0. Let's keep bringing it. Stay in there. 6 man. Check.
Play action now, Winston. And this is caught for a touchdown. Now hold everything here. Flag in the backfield. This one might be coming back. The holding penalty, that puts them in an unenviable spot here as they try again on third and goal.
Wait.
Now Winston. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. A 14-yard touchdown. As they are now on the board here in the first half. And he pushed it right. It's no good. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
Let's go. The Packers take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's second and 12.
Hey, box truck.
59 Mike. Check, 59. Here we go.
Rodgers now to throw. And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime. Rodgers now, after the sack, he'll lead the pack up on third and long. Now it's Rodgers. Looking deep for Adams. And his throw intercepted by the all-pro corner, Kyle Fuller. So they elect to decline it.
And why not? Just go ahead and let the play stand, and they'll take that.
So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on first and 10. Winston. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however, and let's see what that's about.
Ready. Black 25.
58 to Mike. Let's go, defense. Let's go, defense. All right, here we go.
Easy. Hey, 5-0. Crash. Let's go.
The first down throw for Winston. To Gabriel, middle of the field. Now the Bears going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. 4 receivers now, 3 to the right, 1 to the left. Second down and 4.
Flip it.
Here's Winston. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off near the 26. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10.
Hey, D-line, let's get in there now. Kill.
Check three.
Rodgers going to throw. And that is intercepted by the all-pro safety, Eddie Jackson. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
And he goes out of bounds. It looks like right at the 50. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards.
Under 10. 10.
Switch.
Come on. Sunday.
Final play of the half here, Winston. And he is across midfield from 149 to the other 49, a gain of just 2. So we have hit halftime of the 2019 opener from Chicago. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, we'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. This fielded at the 2. And not a bad return. Here he gets it out to the 25-yard line.
Let's go.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
X3, 218.
Jones. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Hey, watch it.
630. Run back.
To throw on 2nd and 6. Rodgers flush to his right. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. And that is intercepted by the all-pro safety, Eddie Jackson. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense.
Watch safety creep. Watch safety. Safety's creeping.
Following the interception, Winston. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 18 yards on that one, and Chicago has the first. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Working out of the gun, Winston. Open man, Taylor Gabriel. And he'll just get back to the line of scrimmage, if that. And with a flag on the field, and that one looks to be in the area where someone was held. So that one a hold right guard.
And you understand why offensive and defensive linemen probably go to martial arts schools and work on their hands so often, because that can be the make or break difference on a play. This time he had to grab a jersey in order to make the play happen. Got caught for the penalty.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20.
Kill.
Johnny! Hey, let's get it to person. Green, trouble thing.
Here's Winston. And this is Gabriel on the catch. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, you often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule. Now they'll run it with Cohen. It's a gain of maybe 3, but it's going to leave them with still about 8 or 9 to go on 3rd down.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
And now here's a deep shot that's complete. 25 yards that time.
And that was a heck of a shot right there by Jameis Winston. Boy, he has a superior right arm, doesn't he? You saw him play baseball.
Yeah, he's actually a switch hitter in baseball. Outfielder, and then, of course, a very hard-throwing pitcher. That's translated well in the National Football League.
That it has. When he has to make that throw on a line, he's got plenty of arm to do it.
Line of scrimmage, the 31, as they line up 2nd and 10.
White. 5 on the 50. 5 on the 50.
Winston now. They'll find Miller. That's complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. First down for the Bears, a gain of 15. Winston now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. First down, a run with Cohen. He's down inside the 10 to the 8. And it comes on a gain of 8. On 2nd and 2, Winston escaping the pressure right. And with a flag down, he goes down. So they're able to sack him. Now the penalty looks like it could be holding. Let's find out. So they will take the sack instead of the penalty.
And it takes another down off the series. But the biggest one of all, do you want to tell the guy who just got the sack that it no longer counts?
No.
No, not at all.
Play number 7 now coming up on the drive. 3rd and 5.
Here we go, even. Easy. Hey, stop. Let's go. Green, trouble team. Let him go.
Winston. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Darnell Savage, the rookie from Maryland. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. What a nightmarish game he's having now. 6 interceptions that he has thrown.
Absolutely unbelievable, isn't it? Hard to believe we're watching this and have seen it, but it just tells you about the game of football. It giveth and it taketh away.
Yeah, the guys, though, that have thrown 6 interceptions in a game, the likes of Peyton Manning, Brett Favre, I think Joe Namath, he did it 3 times. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Again, it's Jones. And he's going to be taken down shy of the 5-yard line. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
Well, let's go ahead and detail this situation here. 3rd and long coming up, back near your own goal line. I would be very hesitant about throwing the football in this situation.
Maybe just run up the middle?
Yeah, I think that might be the spot for them. You got to try and find some space for your punter because you don't want him backed up where he has to alter what he does.
Facing the prospect of a punt from their own end zone, they need some cushion. Let's see what they can do on 3rd down. From the shotgun to give to Jones. And he is going to have the first down as he's up to his own 13-yard line. They get 9 there, and in the process escaping their end zone, picking up a first down.
First down, Green Bay.
So a little more space to work with here from the 13 on 1st and 10.
You better be afraid of me. Twist.
1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Rodgers now on 1st down. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Exit. All day.
Rodgers now throwing again. And that's complete to Adams. And they finally take him down, but not before he reaches the 43. A big play there. Rodgers to Adams. 44 yards. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Now a first down carry by Jones. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. They're down here in the 4th, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration. Not a good play.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. The throw on target to his receiver, McKenzie. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
I got it. Hey, 626. Check your small. Mike is 59. Mike is 59. Check.
From the 16, Rodgers. Eluding the play. Now look out, Rodgers lost the football. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble. All that gets him is just a yard, and now it's 3rd down. The Packers on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. They'll try and run for it with Jones. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up 4th down. Oh, this ball hangs out to the right. It's no good, and this score will stay right where it is. Now, this one now not over yet, Charles. You've got a sliver of hope on that other sideline.
You certainly do, because that would have made it a 3-score game. And that probably would have been curtains at that point. But now if they can get down the field quickly and somehow get the ball back one more time, we may have a different ball game.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. Throwing, Winston. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from it. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Now Winston. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Zadarius Smith. He's the one to get him this time, and back-to-back sacks brings up 4th down. Here's Pat O'Donnell now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. Here's Irvin to return. A great return there of 22 yards. And the Packers will have a short field to work with here as they take over 1st and 10. They'll run on 1st down. Jones. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning.
Let's go, defense. Our time. It's our time.
6:30. Hey, Delta.
Check. 59.
From the 41, Rodgers. That's caught. It's Robert Tonyan, the tight end. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
And they pick up a first down, and that came out of the fullback position. But as you and I both know, that doesn't necessarily mean that's a fullback playing in that spot.
Well, times have changed, right? The old school fullback doesn't really exist anymore.
We're not getting that same player out of college with all the spread offenses, not very many pro style where you actually have a true fullback. We're having to make do.
And that is intercepted by the all-pro safety, Eddie Jackson. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And that gives him now 3 interceptions in the game.
Well, someone's locked into what they're trying to get done in the passing game. When was the last time we had someone get 3 in a contest?
2011, wasn't it? Kurt Coleman?
Oh, yeah, that's
then
right.
with the Eagles?
That's right. Then with the Eagles, and I believe it was against Washington and Rex Grossman.
That's correct.
No.
First down, Winston. It's brought in by Harris. And from the 15, they're able to work this up to the 20 for a pickup of a handful. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. They go play action. Winston. He gets it complete to Harris. And he'll be upended after a gain of 5 up to the 25-yard line.
Wait.
On play action, Winston. And Winston lost the football. And the Packers pick it up. And that might just cement it. A return for a late touchdown. We know this defense has some playmakers. We saw it right there. Well, really, we've seen it the whole game.
Isn't it nice to see that on the opposite side of the ball? Respect, my man, respect. The defensive guys are outscoring their opposing offense.
Yeah, they're outscoring him indeed with that score alone. Extra point up and good by Crosby. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. This will be taken in at the 1. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line.
At their own 30-yard line.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in a game like this and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. From the shotgun, it's Winston. And now here is another interception. Picked off by Darnell Savage, the rookie from Maryland.
So many times we end the game, and as we're recapping it, we're talking about what offenses did and how they won the game. Let's flip this one over. The defense, they frustrated the offense the entire ball game. That's why they're walking out of here with a victory.
And they're going to love to walk out of here with that as their final act, that interception. Good way for them to end it. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. They'll start out on the ground with Jones. Slipped 1 tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and that'll make this a 2nd and 13. Rodgers throwing here. Rush coming, and he's taken down. That's sacked by Khalil Mack. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in the game. Well, it was 2nd long. Now it's 3rd and even longer. They're going in the wrong direction here.
Because they're moving exactly the way they want to, but you're exactly right. Definitely going in the wrong direction for the offensive guys.
On 3rd and long, it's Rodgers. Got his man complete over the middle. It's McKenzie. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
A gain of 7, but it's 4th down.
Well, my friend, for the players, it's good for them to get that first game under their belts. For you and I, that first Thursday night game, also good for us to get that under our belts, wasn't it?
It was no longer preseason. We were into the regular season, the first game of the year. And, you know, all eyes were watching this when everyone was excited that football was back.
It is just special. You could just feel it. It's so good to have the pigskin back out there. It'll be crisp fall weather before we know it.
You got that right, but I love the build-up to it, right? All day long anticipating it, and then we got here and we saw a game, the first game of the year. Let's keep going.
So for the Packers, they start the season with a great win on the road here in the Thursday opener. And they'll get a few extra days to get ready for next week. Meanwhile, for Chicago, they go down to defeat here in the opener. And they'll look to get back on track next week as they travel to Denver to take on the Broncos.